What's good, everyone, and welcome to my round 6 review. And this one is a very depressing one, and I'll explain to you why in just a moment's time. But we had a round score of 2,116, which I'm surprised is in the top 38%. I don't know how it's that high. I thought I really left something on the plate this week, and I will show you why in just a moment's time. But we have dropped in the season ranks down 6,694, which is not great, especially when we were trending upwards. And this week could have been something massive. Let's just go straight into it because it's hurting me to keep talking about it without showing you what happened. Now, on a first glance, you can see directly what happened this week. So, yes, I did loop my captain with getting Daicos' 140, and I attempted to loop with his old mate, Zach Galetsky, whatever his face is, with Jackson on the bench. Now, I was out and about on Sunday doing things, was busy, not paying attention. I thought everything was going to go smoothly, and lo and behold, late in, and I miss out on the Jackson score, and I have the captain stuck on him. Popped out at 29 score. He had about only 40% time on ground. I'm so aggravated by Brisbane that's who they would pick to bring in. He's earned a little bit of money, I guess. So it's so aggravating because what could have been with a double Daicos score and Jackson on field, it would have been a massive score this week because all of my premiums except Bontempelli perform this week. And I'm going to go through each one and then the plans for this week because the team is looking good. I think the team is looking good. But this week it's just so aggravating that I work all this time for this to happen it's not out of my control because I could have controlled it, but it sucks to have a life outside of Supercoach, doesn't it? All right, so let's go from the defense as I do normally. Jack Sinclair. No, why did I say Josh? Jack Sinclair, 119, back to his usual scoring. Was great as usual. Had a lot of the ball in the first quarter, so he could have gotten even bigger than what he did. But 119, you can't complain. Lucky Ash had lots of the ball, but butchered it very often. Only 85, which is one of his lowest for the year. Not worried whatsoever. He's going to lose money, but yeah, we leave that. He's good for the rest of the year. And having those GWS players are great for the buy, so I am happy with that. Houston, 87. He's just not going to be the pick this year, I don't think. He's going to hover around that 60 to 90 mark potentially, and maybe every now and then 100 score. But yeah, there's nothing crazy with that one, and probably a failed pick so far. Kitty Coleman, 90, back to his biggest scoring at halfback. He loves mopping it up down there, and I'm happy with that. Really happy with the pick that we had. I've had him since we started, so rolling with that, and it's a great news that he's gone back up in price once again. Makes picks later in the year way easier. Then Farrow, everyone's got him now, and if you don't, this is your last week to jump on him. He's got a 61 in his psych, which is fine. Didn't find as much as the bowlers he did recent weeks, but you fine with a 61, and he's got money to earn. So, yeah, happy with that. And Lindsay, 75. I won the rookie roulette by picking Lindsay. I just thought that he had some higher scoring potential in the role that he has against Freo, which is it's always pretty close, except this derby was not that close anyway. But I thought scoring wise, yeah, I'll put Jax on as the potential loop, even though I didn't have the opportunity to loop because everyone played in the defense there. So, yeah, doesn't matter. Sarong, 48 on the bench, and a Jax 34, which is a bit... Ooh, it kills his money making a little bit without 34, but I'm not worried about Jax more than I'm Sarong. Two not great scores by Sarong, so he's coming up in his time as well. Although they are playing each other this week, Thursday in Marvel Stadium, so who knows? It might just hold for now. I'm not looking to make too many moves this week, just by looking at what we have on the plate. Then we got Butters, absolutely brilliant, 154. He's probably top 3 for the year at least. Lock him in. You should have him. It's contract year, yeah. He's going to get attention put into him some weeks, but he's been way better at handling the tag this year than he has been last year. So I think you're not going to see many basement scores with Zachy this year. And Bontempelli, 66, had some attention put into him by Jordan and didn't cope with it whatsoever. Had only 19 touches and a score resulting in 66. Yeah, we jumped on at the wrong time. We got one big score, and then it's been crap from there. You were absolutely just living it up if you didn't pick him up initially, because he's going to be the cheapest he's been in a long time. In a couple weeks' time, once this money he loses his money and resets his break even. So you would be very happy if you don't have him right now, and I will be putting a big circle on him for the next 2 weeks' time to bring him in. Daicos 140. I thought I was going to get the Vice for this. He was brilliant. I knew he was going to be. There was so much on the line for the game, just by outside of just the Carlton versus Collingwood aspect of things, and I explained that in my last video. And I thought I was going to get 140. Of course, I didn't, and now we're here. Lost rankings down to almost to 15,000. We are down below that, so yeah, doesn't help our cause of the year, but I can't complain about Nick Daicos. Zachy Merritt 150, also a really good pick. I jumped on him when he was only 2% owned. Thought that was a bolder call. He's no longer 2% owned, and everyone's realizing how big of a pick he is this year, as he is every single year. Yeah, just most reliable Supercoach in recent years is Zach Merritt and Harry Sheezel, and Gawn, of course, but Gawn everyone's got. So yeah, Clayton Oliver 128 also has been a great pick, and I see people that are actually jumping on him very recently. He is out of Callahan and Oliver. Lots of teams, as I said, we're going to be putting attention to Callahan, which leaves Oliver to be a little bit on the loose end of things, which has definitely resulted in bigger scores so far this year. And you see that once again. I think this is his highest for the year, 128. Bruin 56, not great. He's probably getting up to that mark where he's made his money, but I think that he is on the back burners of moves because of the fact that he is such a safe pick on field. Playing Port this week, so yeah, I would hold if I was you. Jagger Smith 64 is still, yeah, he's hovering around that 60 range, and I'm not worried about Jagger, to be honest, because he's quality. I've seen what he can put out. It's just Carlton and their playing style. They're not giving him the time he needs. And I think that needs to change if Carlton want to be serious about developing Jagger and his role, because he should be in the center, and Chera coming back in and stealing center bounce attendances. I don't know what they're doing, but yeah, I'm not worried about him. I think he's one that I'm going to leave. I'm looking to move others before I move him, basically. And old mate Blamirez, I think that's how you pronounce it, or Blamirez, I'm not sure, but 61 is fine. Again, I elected to go with Blimiers against Murdoch, which is probably the wrong call because of Murdoch's scoring history. But I think we're going to make that change. So Murdoch is playing on field this week. They are versing Saints at Marvel, so I think that's fine scoring potential for Murdoch compared to North playing GWS at Manuka. So yeah, probably going to swap that. And then on the bench, we have Grill with 66 is fine. Probably is on the bubble to be moved potentially very soon. And the Murdoch 85 is fine. You know the quality you're going to get with Murdoch. Everyone's got him in. And if you don't, this is the last week you have to move him in. I said that it was fine. He's more than fine. He's the best pick so far this year, basement-wise. And going on Grill, I do recommend holding. He is playing MCG Melbourne this week, so I think that that's a bigger stage. He can perform a little bit, and having that defensive mid DPP is definitely helpful when it comes to moving things around. So I would probably move him on later than your Jacks and Sarongs even. Just my personal opinion. And Watkins didn't play. I was going to move him last week, but I didn't need to because I had so many playing. So I should have used him as an emergency, and I didn't. And I don't know why I didn't. I went to go Ruck because I thought this dude had no chance. But look where we are now. Going to Rucks, Maxi gone, 105. Should have really gone bigger than the matchup, just the matchup wise, but he didn't. Only 105. He was a lot of people's last resorts because a lot of people had got to the news and had already locked in a Grundy score on the bench or something like that, or a Jackson score. In my case, Jackson played after, so I could have swapped. Just things, if I knew about it, I would have swapped straight away. But yeah, a lot of them, Gorn was their last resort captain-wise. They chucked the captain on him, and 105 is fine. It's not a great captain score, but comparing it to 29, okay, you definitely take that. So yeah, then we get to old mate, 29, get to the bench, my son. He's earned a little bit of money, but I'm so disappointed. Nothing I can do though. We can only move on and go to next week. And the big old goal of top 500 is probably long away, and I don't think we're going to get there unless our team is like really good for the rest of the year. But all we can do is work with what we have now and for the future rounds as well. But that's 125 left on the bench by Jagger as well, which is really sad. Forward line, Cheezel, also one of the most reliable picks for the year so far. 141. Yeah, great. He's a captain option each week, to be honest. Just the output he has, touches, he's just a magnet to the ball. Petrarca, I think he was a little bit underscored, judging by the game. He had 3 goals, which is kind of crazy, and he only put up 105. So I didn't watch the game, so his efficiency must have been not great. I'm not sure, but I think just looking at the stat box that he should have had a higher score than 105. So I'm not afraid of that pick whatsoever. Flanders, 117. This is probably his best score so far, I think, and this is what we expected initially when we first brought him in. Welcome 117. I'll take that. Cook had his probably best game he's ever had of his career so far. 99. Looked great. Smart decision making. Yeah, his efficiency was just through the roof, and he's the most safe down forward to leave rookie wise. So look at it. He's got money to make for a while. And Toddy Marshall does the same as well. They had brought in Vicentini to play a little bit of a forward role, swapping with Sweet, which I think worked. But that allowed Marshall to stay down back and put some solid effort in down back. And his distribution off of the forward line is absolutely elite. So, I'm happy to keep him on field for now. And then we go to Schoenberg, who had a 56, which was fine. My pick to put him in. I wish it was a little bit higher than that, but I'm happy with a 56. What I didn't expect is Joe Barry, 78, which has really made me rethink moving him right now. I think he's going to sit on that bench for a little bit while he earns a little bit of more money now that he's got a 78 in his system. We won't move Joe Barry, and I'm glad I held him. And then go to Lombard of a 45, and we knew this was going to happen with Lombard, just the low end, small forward type of scores. Slow burner, but you knew what you were signing up for. And then McAndrew, 79 is fine. I can't complain about a 79. He's still got that full ruck position, so I'm not going to look to move that soon either because that output is fine. But that's the team so far. Really disappointing week. I don't know what I'm going to name the title and thumbnail because it is probably the most depressing week of Supercoach that I have ever had, just due to the ruck situation and the captains. Because I could have gone massive. My score of 2,116, the fact that that's still in the top 38% with what I experienced is just absolutely insane. I don't know how, but we could have gone so much bigger. We could have made such a big leap in the standings, and we just didn't because of this. So yeah, it's depressing, but that's just a game of Supercoach, isn't it? So what I've learnt is don't have a life outside of AFL and Supercoach related things. Just sit down and do your paperwork and watch the games, and make sure that you're on top with all the news. So that's it. That's all I've got to add. We'll look at our future trades and final teams and captains later on in the week. Not looking for a whole lot of changes with the current situation when it comes to trades. I have used a lot already, and there's no injuries to name for this week, so there's no forced changes, thank God. Potentially Bontempelli is a watch because he had some scans done. I think he's okay. They have optimism that he's going to play this week, but it's a short turnaround playing on Thursday, so we'll wait and watch on Bontempelli. But even if he's out, he's going to be out short term. He's going to sit on the bench for a bit. So not looking to make a whole lot of moves. That's the team for now, but I will have a look at it and do a future video in the week with the updates. Thanks for watching. Thanks for, I feel bad for you if you've encountered the same situation I did, but send your love, send your wishes to me because it's a hard time right now. Continuing on, I do believe they should cancel the season from now, but thanks for watching and hanging out, and look forward to my other videos later on in the week. Peace out.